Right, now I would like to demonstrate how FIS service could be used to test how your application handles start or stop of instance. In order to do that, I have got two prereqs. I've already created the target instances which I will be using for this experiment, and I've created a role which will allow FIS service to run actions on my behalf on the AWS target resources. So let's get started. I'll just give any name for now, as this is optional. Important thing here is to give the role that I've created for this one. Let's create first action. I would say stop random instance. Action type. Now this is important, as mentioned during the demo, we have got a predefined actions which could be done on these AWS resources or services. The one I'm using now is AWS ec2 stop instance, which is this one. I'm leaving the start after option as optional, as it is optional. So let's go and say start the instance, let's say after 1 minute. And now I will save this. Notice this, as I was creating the action, there was a target box that was populated beforehand. So I'm going to just edit it and give an instance or a target resource. In this case, I'm going to select both the options I've created. I'll give a name of the target, let's say random instance, just for ease. Now in the selection mode, I will choose count option because I want partly any random instance to go down. So let's just say 1 because I have total 2 instances. I'm using only 1 for now, and save it. So far we have created one action, which is stop random instance, and one target, which is random instances. I'm going to edit and create another target, and this time I would say both instance. It's the same procedure. The difference would be in the selection mode, I'll choose all as opposed to count from last time, because this time I want both their targets to go down, and I'll save it. So we have created 2 targets now. Now I need to create one more action for which the target would be the second both instance target. So let's just say add action and say stop both instance. This time, because I want to build a sequence, I would say only run this action after the completion of this action. Action type would be stop ec2 instance. The target this time would be both instance, and I would say start the instances, let's say 1 minute, just because I'm conscious of time. That looks all right. Let's just save it and create the template. The service is conscious that these experiments could be used to run on the live services, which is why you will see it will always prompt you for confirmation. So now we have got the experiment template created, which gives the detail here. This is the template ID, which will be unique to each experiment, which you can use to trace the progress of the experiment. The name was optional, I gave it. The role is important, which I've mentioned already. Time and other details. So let's just start the experiment, and then we can talk about these bits while the experiment is in progress. I would say start. I'm not tagging it for now. Start. So the way I'm expecting is that it's in the initiating stage now. It will soon move to the running stage here. If you see, this is still in the pending state. I will just do the refresh in a minute. Right, so now the state has changed to running. So this will randomly go and stop one instance. So let's just go and see how does the instance state look like. Right, so one instance, so the action 1 is in progress, and it has chosen my second instance to bring down. Let's just talk about a little bit about targets. We have seen tags. I've not done any tagging here. Timelines. So this shows that we have built this whole experiment for 2 minutes, and there's a sequence there, as you can see. And the first part of my experiment template is in progress and it's running state. Let's show you one more thing which is important here. If I take you here and I take you to the export tab, this will show you that it is a JSON copy of the template that we have just created through console. This could be used for any future references, or you can use this one by changing your targets or any particular thing. But just, I mean, it's a pretty clear template for one to understand, but I would want to draw your attention to something called where we build a sequence. We have talked about all of these. I'm just scrolling up so you can have a look around how this instance is built, and we'll come back to the experiment in a minute. And there's important thing is there's no stop condition associated into this one. Right, let's go to the template again and see. So this is my experiment which is still running. You can see from here. If I go to the details of the experiment, so that means my first portion is completed. The second action is in progress. Let's see how does the experiment look like, right? So they're both now, as a part of the second action, both the instances should have gone down now. So I'm assuming this is how it will be stopped in a minute or so. So that shows that the experiment is completed and the instances are up, because if you remember, the part of the action was that we would the instance should come up after 1 minute, and I just did it for the sake of time, where you can introduce a time of 2 minutes or 3 minutes just to see the clear difference. But what we did essentially was we created an experiment template which had 2 actions. In the first action, I randomly chose to stop any of the instance, and followed by the second action, which where we chose to stop both the instances. And this is how you can interrupt your action and see how your application scales or behaves in terms of the compute going down. Thank you for looking at it.